back everyone to Riverside Homestead Life. Today I'll be showing you guys one of the best, coolest design tomato trellises I've ever seen, built, or I'd even want. Last year I built this thing, designed it myself, and just put a lot of thought into how this would work out the best for having an abundance of tomato plants and produce for our family. Only a couple things I wanted to change from last year. I built 2 planter boxes, and they're approximately 2 foot by 6 foot, and I bridged them together with a trellis. Last year we had probably about 8 plants in both those boxes, and we had so much greenery and so much plant that it bowed that thing down. So this year I'm adding a little center support, and I'm going to take you through that. If you watch this whole video, at the end I'll provide you a drawing of exactly all the specs you need to build this thing in case you want one just like it. This year we're going to do 3 to 4 plants on both sides. If it gets too crazy, we might weed one out. I'll also show you a couple tips on how to take care of your tomato plants to get the most amount of fruit off them limbs. Hope you enjoy the video. Another important tip, you want to be sure to weed frequently, because those weeds, they're just going to use up the moisture, they're going to use up the nutrition that could be going to your tomato plants. Another important tip on these tomato plants when they're just starting off, and even later on when they get bigger, is you're not going to be pulling the fruit off of these lower limbs. They're just going to be dragging across the bottom, and they're not going to be your producers down the road. So at this stage of the game, you want to simply clip those bottom ones off, just like that, just like trimming a little tree. That way, that energy right now that it needs is going to go to the upper end of the plant and to the roots. We've already done this once or twice. So we'll keep growing little limbs down towards the bottom. Just keep trimming them like it's a little tree trunk. Another thing that it'll do is when the fruit starts really developing on those limbs and they want to hang down and touch the ground, it's going to cut off another avenue of bugs shooting up that plant. Also, you want to use clippers. You don't want to pinch them off, pull them off. It adds more stress to the plant. Clippers or a little fresh razor blade works great. Right here, you can see this bow. Our plants last year went to about this high, and it put a lot of weight on this cool little design. So I promised you in an earlier video that I would fix that up, make it a little tougher, stronger. It's about that time. There's something rewarding, therapeutic about weeding your garden. It's not something someone would say they'd like to go do, but when you do it, it makes you feel good. You guys like weeding your garden? You like weeding your garden and taking a break from life and just getting out in your garden and doing a little weeding, primping, prodding? Hit that like button. How about hit that like button if you don't like to weed the garden too? So the first thing we're gonna do on stiffening up this trellis is, you see that little board going across right there? I'm gonna put a 2x4 because it looks like it'll bridge right underneath it perfectly. We'll screw that bottom run across to it. Then we'll cut that other skinny 2x1 to fit in between there and the top. Should give it all the strength it needs. So I marked the center stick at about where I need to have it to wedge it up in there. So we'll cut this. So what we're doing is we're pre-drilling the holes just so that we don't split this little cheap skinny wood. You pre-drill the holes, run a screw in it, it's gonna be real strong. Okay, so that right there is gonna be super, super strong. It's gonna give the middle of that trellis just all the support it needs. And there we have it. Center supports ready for a heavy, heavy load of tomatoes. I can't wait to see these boxes fill up with tomatoes. There won't be any sagging this year. Another thing you guys want to do when you're done building this stuff is you want to throw some sealer or some stain on it, because that sun will destroy it in a matter of a year. After 2 years, you're falling apart. See, this box and trellis right here did not get a stain or sealer on that wood, and last year the sun just beat the crap out of it. So we've noticed that we stain this stuff and it lasts a lot longer. It looks nice. I just use a oil-based little 6-inch roller, and then we like using Australian Timber Gold Natural. If you like that color that we're using, that's what we're using. I think you can get it at Lowe's or Amazon. So let's throw some stain on this new addition to this tomato box and get it ready for the season. And there we have it, guys. It's sealed. All the new stuff is all sealed up, stained. It's gonna be a good year. If you like this kind of stuff, be sure to hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, let me know you like this kind of stuff, and I'll keep them coming. Okay, so I had a last minute request, and that was coming from someone that would like to see it this way. Taking you through, hold on. Are you coming? All right. I was told that some people might want to get taken through the measurements and such of building this box, a visual versus just a diagram. So we're gonna go ahead and do that real quick. Get the tape measure out. Got my little helper right here.
I am.
You're gonna help? Okay. And I'll also provide a diagram, but real quick, we're just gonna go through the how-tos on this trellis build, just in case you want one just like it. Baby, it's bright out here. All right, so real quick, right through how I did this guy. These guys right here are 6 feet long. These guys right here are 2 feet long. They're 2x10s, which probably cost a fortune these days. Good Lord, lumber has gotten ridiculous. You're gonna cut 4 2x10s at 6 foot long. You're gonna cut 4 pieces of 2x10 at 2 feet long. This is gonna make the perimeter of your lower boxes, the raised bed portion. These guys right here are considered a 1x2. You can buy them in a big old pack, or you can buy them individually. They're only like a couple bucks a piece. Anyway, these guys right here, each side is cut at a 45 angle. Their overall length is 12 inches, both sides. See, I'm taking notes. These ones right here, go all the way up, are 5 foot. If I was to do it again, I would have made these guys 6 foot. Just for people that are a little bit taller, I have to duck a little bit to walk in between. It's not a huge deal, but if I was to do it again, I'd make those guys 6 foot tall. These pieces in the middle, right here and right here, this one is about 72 inches. This one right here, fitting in between, is 71 inches. The 2x4 that's just creating the vertical brace in the middle is 2 foot wide, just like the box. And then I stack it. That piece right there is 49 inches. These guys right up here, I've got only 4 of them. They're just spaced kind of evenly, set back about 8 to 10 inches. These guys are 64 inches long, and I just did a little miter, a little 45 on the ends, just to make them look decorative. The twine right here, this stuff is about, I would say, 1/4 inch to 3/8 inch thick. And what I did is I just took a drill bit a little bit bigger than 3/8 or 3/8, and I taped the end and I ran it through 6 to 10 inch spacing, just up through the bottom, down, up across, down. And then you see these little cross pieces. These guys will hold the plant in as they're getting bigger. Like this. See how this guy's just holding it in, tie it over here, and then just swoop it out, so that way you're not making a tie that's gonna restrain how big this thing can get, how girthy this thing can get. It's just holding it in. And as these things get bigger, that's all you're gonna do, is you're gonna run these things down, back, and just kind of sandwich them into the center. Spacing in between to walk through right here, 2 foot. So each of these boxes are 2 feet wide with a 2 foot spacing. I hope that little walkthrough helps some of you. I'll still go ahead and add that description little piece at the end, so you guys have that visual reference. Just go ahead and screenshot it. Have a great gardening season, and we will post updates. Be sure to subscribe.